Hey everybody, it's your boy Nate here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. At the moment, it appears that Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, so currently 5:25 p.m. Eastern. As of now, the Thunder are up 91-67 against the Nuggets, so it's looking like the OKC Thunder are going to the Western Conference Finals to play against Ant-Man and the T-Wolves. Looks like we've got our 4 teams locked in for this last stretch of the playoffs. It's going to be an interesting 2 series to watch. And in addition to that, in the Eastern Conference, it's looking like we're going to see it's either the Pacers or the Knicks who are in the finals. Man, what a time to be alive. Who'd have thought I'd live to see another day where the Pacers or the Knicks are this close to the NBA Finals? I'm excited. I hope you guys are, and I hope you've been having a great weekend. Topic of the video today, I wanted to take a little detour in my typical conversations concerning basketball and talk a little bit more about something a little different. Ever since I was a kid, up until my early adulthood, I grew up in pretty humble beginnings. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. Growing up, vacations were a rarity. I never got to go to Disney World as a kid. My parents, they gave me a great life, but it wasn't the most, I guess you could say, thriving as far as finances were concerned. But I have no complaints. They did their best, and they made a great life for me. So I'm very fortunate and grateful for that. But as a kid, it was always my dream to be able to go to an NBA game, or better yet, an NBA Finals game. I had seen how electric the energy would be in the building when watching 2 teams battle it out. But unfortunately, I didn't grow up rich, so that wasn't a reality for me. Fast forward to where we are now. I've made some good strides in my career. If you guys recall the last video I made when I talked about me getting laid off at an untimely time, I actually found a job not too long, only a few weeks after I got the bad news. So I'm in a good place, and I didn't even get to touch my severance or unemployment, which is pretty cool. So that went all into savings and investments. But speaking of investments, that brings me to cryptocurrency. I've done some reflecting over the last couple of years in regards to this particular area of finance. And in the beginning, when I first learned about it, I would say I was probably like a junior in college back in like 2017. I saw what Bitcoin was doing, but I didn't really think much of it. I'd felt that most of crypto was just a scam, really. And the idea of digital money seemed kind of dumb to me. But in retrospect, I realized that what I was looking at as far as crypto was concerned was not what it seemed to be. Yeah, there are a lot of scams in the crypto world, but I didn't do my due diligence. A friend of mine, he was a big enthusiast, and he even wrote software in the crypto space. So he turned me on to like different coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin. He was a big fan of Solana, and so he would experiment with like the JavaScript SDKs in the Solana ecosystem, and he was writing his own like decentralized apps. And I'll follow some of the stuff he was doing on GitHub. For context, I am a software engineer, for those of you who didn't know. But for the most part, I just dabbled in it. I had a account with the now defunct FTX. I had like $50 of Solana sitting in the exchange. I know better now about where to store my crypto, but at the time I was pretty ignorant. They go belly up, I lose all the money, and then that's when I decided to take my learning a bit more seriously. So my friend, he introduced me to hot wallets to start. So I created a Phantom wallet, and he even made a nice gesture and sent me the Solana I lost, which he didn't have to do. That was really cool of him. And so I dabbled a little bit more in the crypto world. And then I would say the end of last year, I stumbled upon something that was quite interesting to me. I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with this coin. It's called XRP. And the reason why it piqued my interest was because of the fact that this wasn't just simply a random coin that was being pumped up with tons of hype and speculation. The coin actually has a use case, and that use case is for payments and transfers. The backers and developers of the coin, a company called Ripple, they're a payments platform. And from the research I've done on the internet, it's looking like major banking institutions are going to start using the underlying technology of the XRP blockchain or ledger to facilitate payments. Because right now, ACH payments, not only do they take forever to send money from one part of the world to the other, they're highly expensive with a lot of fees. But XRP has very little fees. So that, combined with all the news I was reading about this particular project, made me more interested. It gained back a lot of the interest I once had in crypto. So I bought myself a cold storage, and then I started buying consistently, and I've been holding on to crypto during the bull runs that XRP has had, and I was even able to make a substantial amount of return. Not like life-changing money, maybe like a couple grand, but still pretty significant for just buying and holding an asset. And one of the realizations I had about this ecosystem, the crypto ecosystem too, is that the level of volatility is identical to the stock market, but I guess you could say the opportunity for gains is unmatched. The first significant amount of money that I experimented with in the crypto realm or the crypto ecosystem was with exchange traded funds in the stock market. I took a very small piece of my IRA, and maybe like less than 3%. And I put it into the Fidelity Bitcoin Trust ETF. I believe the ticker is FBTC. By the way, disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This is just something that I've come upon personally that I've gained a lot of interest in. But one thing I noticed was that about maybe 8 months to a year after I had purchased that Fidelity Bitcoin ETF in my IRA, the funds that I invested had basically doubled in less than a span of a year. I'm trying to remember when I bought it. I think I may have purchased it sometime around 2023 or 2024. But essentially, that little investment that I put outperformed any investment that I had in my portfolio outside of like one stock. And that was a company called SoundHound. Anywho, needless to say, this really piqued my interest in getting involved more with cryptocurrency. And also too, like, given the instability of the American economy, how easy it is to or let me rephrase that, how much more difficult it is to maintain employment in this economy. It makes you wonder if the traditional model of, working a job for 40 years, putting 10, 15% of your income into the stock market and then retiring after 30 to 40 years of working, how feasible that really is. Because realistically, especially if you work in like tech or finance, you're going to have a handful of layoffs or several layoffs throughout your career. And those will be lapses in income that you would be using for savings or towards saving for retirement or investing in other opportunities. And so it makes you wonder if it really even makes sense to invest in the traditional way. And that was something I started to think about, because I could probably go the traditional route of putting all my money in ETFs and stocks, but odds are I probably will likely be there will likely be a chance where I'm not able to contribute what I should be contributing because of difficulties that I encounter. And then that could result in me having a much smaller than needed nest egg. So that's the question. Maybe alternative options would be better. And so as of now, I've made the personal decision, not recommending this to anyone, but I made the personal decision to, in addition to the 15% that I put away in my individual retirement account, I'm putting the other money that I would have put in a 401k, I'm putting all that in the current. Here's why. One, I'll be able to access those funds without any sort of penalties. Yes, I won't be able to take advantage of the tax deductible benefits of a 401k, but at the same time, I'll be able to have a form of asset that's much more aggressive and could potentially change the trajectory of my life a lot sooner in a much more positive way, and maybe even make that dream of being able to sit courtside at an NBA Finals game a reality. I'm starting to see as time goes on that you can't really capitalize on opportunities unless you take some sort of action. And I really want to be able to check off that bucket list item of being present at an NBA Finals game. And I think that's sooner, or that's closer in the future than I may anticipate. I just have a strange feeling that things are about to change big for me, and I really can't wait to see what's on the other side. And yeah, it's always been my dream to have season tickets. It's not that I can't afford season tickets now, or the possibility of having one NBA Finals ticket, but it would put a dent into my net worth. So I want to see if I can multiply that before splurging on a luxury like this. And also, too, one of the things that inspired me to make this calculated risk was that at one of my past jobs, my former manager at a sports technology company I used to work at, he had won some money. He and another coworker won some money in a sports betting play, and it was enough to book him a flight from Australia to the United States and some pretty damn good seats at the NBA Finals. So, hey, maybe I could have my opportunity one day as well. Anywho, I won't leave you. I won't keep talking too much. I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your night. But yeah, thanks for coming on and listening to me ramble about some ideas that I have. If you have any ideas on how you want to change your life, leave them in the comment section below. What's one luxury that you've always wanted to have ever since you were a kid and have made that a goal to experience at least once? Let me know in the comment section below. Please like this video if it really resonated with you. And as always, this is Nate, and you've been watching the Legacy Sports channel. I'll see you guys later this week. Cheers.